Hi there, I'm Daniel Cobley. This is the first episode of an Under the Sea exploration series called Under the Wave. Now in this episode, we're just starting off by having a look around the reef and the species in the reef that we're based in, just off the coast of Lestati. This shoal of fish that we can see around us. Here we have a shoal of small sardines. Now, we get quite a lot of small fish around in this area, and they come here for many reasons. Usually their spawn or their parents have laid them here for the sole intention of, because the water is so shallow, only up to 2 meters in some places, and here it's only 1 meter, they can be nurtured in the safe-ish protection of the shallow water, which keeps them out of the grasps of dangerous predators, and also supplies them with quite a lot of food. And because the depth of the water is so shallow, you get it gets quite warm as well. This is the Mediterranean Sea, just off the coast of Lestati, and this is me flailing wildly because, oops. Now here you can see a rather peculiar fish. What this fish has done is its patterning breaks up its outline, so as you'll see in a moment when I find it again. No, I've lost it. You get some bigger fish around here, and they come here either to rest up from a long migration, or just to come here. This is a very safe place for most fish compared to the desert of the open sea. So many creatures will come here for food. Now, I think I've found those fishes again, and I haven't quite, but the one that we saw before had a pattern on its back which broke up the outline. I could have sworn I had some film of it. There we are. And this breaks up their outline and kind of merges them with their background, which is a rather clever trick indeed. Me flailing wildly. La 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 la. Don't mind me, just flailing wildly. So this is a very shallow place, it's very warm and tropical, and it is really quite amazing. Here you can see a snake-like anemone, and they thrive in places like this. The water nutrients is high, and there are tons of potential prey around. So it is pretty much amazing for creatures like this. For most creatures here, the only thing is, on rough winds, the sea, in open water, you don't really feel this effect, but the sea will blow up and it gets quite violent there, and that is the only drawback to creatures living in places like this. But if they kind of stay in the middle region, they are usually fine. And here you can see, these aren't massive fish, but they're bigger than the ones that we usually see here, and they are one of the examples of fish that come here on not a regular basis, basically. Now, I was talking about this earlier. The warm and very shallow waters provide loads of algae, seaweed life forms to really get a grip here, and they blossom on all these rocks, and this provides an amazing source of food for nearly all of the creatures on the reef, because in these rocky waters you don't get many predators. It becomes a lot harder. Oh, and here you can see a small fish that's blended in, so it's incredibly hard to see him. I'll try my best. It's hard because this is really shallow water. This is less than 1 meter now. I'm practically standing on this rock, and you can see we're quite close to the shore because it's getting really bumpy and rough. So I'll try my best to show him to you guys because he is really cool, and he is one of the ones that we will talk about in another episode. Now here you can see a slightly bigger fish. It has an eye spot on its tail. Now the reason it does that is because it can fool a predator into thinking that that is its head, and therefore its head, vital organs, will be spared in exchange for a chunk of tail, which would be a lot more devastating if that was its head. Now here it is again. Now you just saw a little flash of blue. Those are its pectoral fins, and they kind of come out on the ground and will help it move along. I'll try and slow it down and show it to you guys, but it helps it stabilise on the sea floor. You often see it, there we are, you often see it in goatfish and flying fish. They have these huge fins that kind of come down. Now here are goatfish. Now goatfish are very peculiar, and they come conjugating in places like this because there's loads of sediment here, and it's really nice. And they have these two little proboscis. They're white and stuff, and they bury into the sand and they sift out all the good bits, and then they eat that. So that is it. That concludes our tour of the reef for this episode. We'll be back next time with some more substantial stuff. Next time, we are going to be looking at the Great Shoal. You got a little glimpse of a few clips that I wasn't meant to show you, but you're welcome. So, thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one.